folks, and welcome back to another exciting video. Today we are going to be working on this Mustang. It is a V8 automatic of some sorts. It's been sitting right here in this scrap yard. It was picked up from a local yard when the man previously passed away, and it was brought here to be scrapped. Now you know I've got a soft spot for cars that are going to be killed, and I had to buy them. So I bought about 6 vehicles here that we're going to be going through here shortly, but this Mustang is just something that I was like, man, it's so cool. It's got the big giant flares in the back, V8, crazy interior that you're going to love. So stick around to the end of the video where we see if we can make this car run and drive for the first time in a very long time. That's right, folks, this car was sitting for quite a long time. As you can see, lots and lots of Bondo, lots and lots of rust in some very unfortunate places. But I hate to see it get scrapped. I just can't stand the fact of knowing that this Mustang could possibly get scrapped. And check out the beautiful Keystone Classics. I mean, you can't let those go to waste, of course not. We've got a custom grille, a hood scoop, I think that's like a Cobra Jet hood scoop or something like that. The giant, the Charger tires, look at those 60 series 14s. Heck yeah. But look at this rust. I mean, this is just sad. Really sad rust in really unfortunate places. But it's still a very cool car. And inside here, look at the custom interior. Like, somebody really spent a lot of time and money on this car back in the day. Even the AC unit down there. It just went to waste, unfortunately. But we're not gonna let it die, not yet at least. So I just wanted to show you guys this thing sitting here in the recycle center, again, in line to be scrapped. So the owner called me and said, hey, I don't want to scrap these cars. I'd like to see them go somewhere. So thankfully, I was able to save them and 5 other cars. Well, hello there. Folks, I will be honest, this car is sad. Look at this. There's rust in the hood. I mean, they covered it with Bondo and it just came right back. It's everywhere in this car, unfortunately. It's just rusting right through in random places. Over here in the back, I mean, both sides. Really the worst part about it is the roof. Only thing I know you could do with it is honestly just cut the roof off and make a convertible. Because look at this, I mean, it's gonna have to come out anyway. All this is rotted through. All around the back glass is just gone. It's been sitting for a long time. Looks like this vinyl top was an aftermarket edition and it caused it to just fall apart. I mean, look, I'm looking right through the inside of the car. I've dealt with a lot of rusty cars before, but this one's pretty bad. Sometimes vinyl tops aren't the best way to do it. And probably what they did was they just didn't paint it, let it sit outside with bare metal underneath, got moisture up underneath it, and it just rotted it out from the inside. It's pretty nasty over here in these flares. They added some metal here, looks like, put an arch to it, and then just kind of smoothed it out with Bondo, but it just fell apart. But we got Keystone Classics, I guess that's all that matters. But the rust, whew. But what I think is really interesting is the fact that it's got, I think these are 67 to 68 Camaro taillights. How cool is that? And the deck lid is actually nice. That's really the only rust-free part on this car. Maybe the doors are okay. This fender up here is okay. And this quarter panel isn't bad. I guess that other side was sitting up against a tree or something and it just rotted out. It is what it is. I mean, this is what was holding the door shut. A bungee cord strapped to a hole in the roof. When we come inside the car, the interior is actually kind of cool. If I can get this out of my way. We've got like some aftermarket, well, these might be like Mustang seats that got, oh yeah, you can see the original pattern underneath it. So they just put covers over the top of it and left it alone. I mean, it is a V8 car. The ignition switch. Hello, where did you go? Well, that's gone. Well, we might have to find that because that's kind of important to make it run. There is no shifter. It's an automatic car and there's no shifter at all. I just noticed that. There's just a big hole in the floor. I think I might have one though. It's just a custom car from the 70s that didn't survive the test of time, unfortunately. Oh, well, there's a skeleton in here. Cool. All right, I'm gonna get out now. Never fear though, it is still a Mustang. nonetheless, where's the you open the hood on these cars? I think it's under here. Oh man. The reason I wanted it is because it still does have a V8 in it. Well, what's left of a V8. I'm not super familiar with the identification of Ford small blocks. I know how to work on them, but I haven't really identified them. I think this is a 289, and it very well could be the original engine for this car, just for the fact that it's a 5-lug car already. We've got a whole V8 up under here, and it is a V8 2-barrel. Those little Holley 2-barrels are really, really easy to work on. We've got a magneto. I mean, what the heck? Somebody did some interesting speed parts on this thing. They did a lot of speed parts and then put a 2-barrel on it. Probably came with that from the factory, but we've got a lot of cool things up under here that we're going to be working with. Starting off, we got to get this removed. I'm just glad there was an air cleaner on it because that's going to keep a lot of the trash out of here. Okay. Get the lid out. Oh yeah, look at there. Not a speck of dirt in there. Sweet. Oh, that makes me feel better. Does the linkage move at all? Nope. And it's stuck. Okay, well, great. It's exactly what we needed. What are the odds this thing is stuck? I would say all the odds. I can't even get the fan to cooperate. It's slipping in the belt. Come on. Oh, what? This thing is not locked up, ladies and gentlemen. At least it... Oh, ow! Golly, I just pinned my hand. Woo! It's rotating. It's very crunchy, but it's rotating. Okay. Well, sweet. Well, that makes me feel better. Oh, well, you're not as bad as I had expected. Maybe while we're here, we could go ahead and check for oil. That would help. Well, it's full. It's a little, it's honestly not that bad. That's weird. Okay. Well, it's not like pitch black. It's still got some color to it. That's good. It's an automatic. So, is there any fluid in the automatic side? Oh, my Lord, it's full. And it looks nice and red. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. Sweet. So if we can get this thing unlocked with this throttle linkage, that's going to help a ton. Just need to try and work it back and forth. The choke works, but the throttle blades are stuck. And I'd bet it's right up in here. So we'll spray something on that. Get it. Oh, wait. So the accelerator pump's moving, but the diaphragm is not. Or is it? Oh, ow. No, the diaphragm is not moving, so we'll have to free that up, and then the throttle linkage itself. But while we do that, while we wait at least, we can pop the cap off here. First tool of the day is a flathead screwdriver. Okay. Toasty. So we got a loose wire just randomly hanging out here. What do you do? Why are you not hooked up? Oh, that's just an extra ground cable, I guess? I don't know. Well, it's not stuck. The weights are moving. The points are disgusting. So I can go ahead and say that needs to be replaced. Let's get that on order. Get us some new points, condenser. Probably new spark plugs because I bet they're disgusting. What is that? And maybe a coil, because I don't know if this magneto is going to be doing anything. It looks cool, but does it work? Probably not. I'm just excited that it's not locked up. That makes me feel so good. You got any coolant in it? Nope. Bone dry. I think they put undercoating on the inner fenders or some kind of sound deadening, because it's all inside the inner fenders. Core support under the hood, whatever this stuff is. I mean, probably gonna smell like a freshly paved road whenever it fires up for the first time. If it fires up for the first time, that is. Well, I've got a hot battery in here. I hooked up the positive side, and I'm gonna hook up the negative cable. What is that? Is that the horn? Yeah, I think the horn's trying to honk right now. The wire's unhooked. Let me hook it up. No, nothing. That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna hook that up and hope that the horn doesn't catch on fire. What I want to try to do is hook up our power probe here to our hot battery. We'll do positive to positive, negative to negative. Let's just see, does anything happen? All right, we're getting some kind of ground. Oh! Oh! The starter works? Oh man, it sounds terrible. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's really, really good. So what we probably just done, we probably just broke all the rings and put a giant hole in the side of the cylinder wall. But hey, it spins over and that's really all that matters at this point. Sweet. Dang, that's good. Okay, awesome. So I got new contacts for the points because these, you can sand them, but these are beyond gone. So we're just gonna replace them completely. And as cheap as it is, it's well worth the investment. Awesome. And there's the condenser. How about some points for you? What is that? Are you supposed to be in there? I hope so, because you're staying. Okay. Points, man. I love these distributors. They're so simple to mess with. Makes it easy to get an old car running. Because all you need is just 2 wires. Good contacts, 2 wires. It's almost to the point where sometimes I forget, like, hey, electronic ignition exists. Hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Now, points all the way. We're not gonna tighten it down just yet. Let's get our wires hooked up. There's 1. Is there enough room for 2? There is enough room for 2. Okay, there's our wires hooked up. Now let's open those contacts just a little bit. I got to messing around with inside here and I found a wire. So I pushed that wire through and I actually found the ignition switch down here. So there is a switch. It doesn't work, but I found it. So I'm going to turn it on and see if spark occurs and see if we get anything at that magneto. Gonna probably say no, but we'll try it anyway. It doesn't spin the engine over, but maybe it'll send 12 volts to the coil. It's very dim. Let me try and open it up a little bit more. But it is there for sure. We've got a spark plug sitting right here. We've got a plug wire sticking in it. The coil should be hot still. I hope so. Oh, wait a minute. It's not going to be hot if you forget your rotor button. Now let's try it. Will we get spark at the plug wire? Ooh. Oh yeah, we're getting spark. It's hard to see in the direct sunlight, but we are sparking. I sprayed down all the linkages here with PV Blaster. I want to see if anything will move now. Oh, we're getting movement. What about the accelerator pump diaphragm now? Oh, it sounds crunchy, but it's moving. Nice. Sweet. Okay. We're gonna have to spray some more on it, I think, because it's not wanting to return properly, but it's at least moving. That's exactly what we need. Awesome. Well, this bad boy right here, I did a little looking, and the 4412-S is a Holley 500 CFM 2-barrel. So that right there, folks, is worth the price of admission. I like that a lot. Before we go any further, we got some gas. We've got spark. We've got throttle linkage that works. Before we change anything else, let's just see, can it hit and actually run or do anything at all. So I've disconnected the supply line coming from the tank, which I don't even know if there's a tank in this car, to be honest with you. But we're gonna pour a little gas in there. All right, drain it out. Almost ripped the grill off. Perfect. Now, key is on. Will you run? Whoa. Whoa, whoa, okay. We are getting compression. We're getting some crankies. Yeah! Wow. Okay. I got hit in the face. Sweet. What? Yeah. This thing is garbage and it runs. Woo. See a vacuum leak already. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes. Well, folks, this thing fired up and it ran. So that means, hey, maybe the carburetor's okay. What I want to do is I did find a vacuum leak way up under here. We need to fix that, plug it, and then we need to just try and see if we can get it to idle. Fill up the bowl vent, all that good stuff, and just make it run. Gosh, that was so cool though. Can you believe that? A car that looks just like this actually just fired up and ran for the first time in who knows how long this thing's been sitting. This thing is disgusting, and it just ran. I am so amazed that this car actually did something. Does it even have a tag on it? No, because it's been sitting for forever. I really want to get into that trunk too. Heck, we might just go from up here, you know, just, we don't even have to open up the trunk lid. That's awesome. Gosh, I'm so excited now. Okay, well, that was fun. Let's plug that port, fill it up with fuel, see if it'll idle. We're gonna start out by getting this old fuel line. Ow! That hurt. Removed. I just stabbed myself. That really did not feel good. I used some copper line over here. We're just gonna run it over to an electric pump with an auxiliary tank. Just do away with the mechanical one. Hey, maybe it'll work. I've got an extra one at the house. We'll see if this thing will run first, because I really want to drive it up there. It's going to be a 50-50 chance here of whether or not this thing actually holds on, because the fuel line has no flaring on it at all. As long as it gets a grip on reality and a grip on this fuel hose, that's all that matters. Running out to our tank here. Heavy. Oh. And in you go. Now the real question is, will it leak when I fill it up with gas? I would bet a needle and seat are going to stick, but if we can get it to not leak out of any gaskets anywhere, that'll be good. Oh, and of course, it's leaking out of our fuel line. I'm just going to have to put the quietness on it here. Really torque her down. Okay, now let's try that. Oh yeah, we're good now. Will it hold? No. Nope. Stuck float. Okay, that's fine though. That's fine. We know that the float's stuck, but at least oh, there's a Ollie sticker on there. Sweet. It just emerged out of the dirt. Nice. Pretty cool. Now at least it has some gas in it. Let's just see if it'll crank and run now. It's flooded right now though, but hey, it's okay. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Woo-hoo! It's shooting junk all over out of the fan. Holy smokes, it's running. Oh, okay. Oh, it's in gear. This bad boy's in gear, folks. It's trying to move. It's trying to move. It's trying to move. I don't have a key. Where's the freaking key? I don't have a screwdriver. Where did my screwdriver go? Ah! Okay. Okay. Well. Alrighty then. Don't want to burn the transmission up. We're going to wait till tomorrow to do that, but for right now, let's kind of keep it less explosive, you know what I mean? This thing has no shifter, so I don't really know what to do for that. I'm going to have to figure out some way to make it go back and forth into gear, because I think what happened is whenever it cranked up, it had no fluid, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to go. So I don't want to burn the transmission up if I can help it. But it at least tried to take gear. It ain't going to move with its flat tires, so before we get too crazy, let's see if we can fix that. I'm under the car here, and I think I got my hand on the shifter. Hold on. Oh, yep. Park, I think, is all the way back. Okay, there we go. I think that's all the way back. So we should be in park now. I hope so. Now I wonder if it'll actually crank with a key now that the car's in park, because the neutral safety switch couldn't work. Let's try it in the ignition switch. Nope, nothing. But it's at least in park this time. Let's see if we can get this kneeling seat to come undone. Get that float to move around. Oh, I think it worked. Sweet, okay. Let's try and crank it now. You know what? I immediately saw the accelerator pump diaphragm start to leak, so that's good. Wow. It honestly runs really well. That's impressive. Woo. Whoa. I'm fairly certain it's in park. I thought it was. No, it's not in park. It's not in park. It's trying. I think I got it in reverse. Yeah, it's trying to go backwards. Let's cut it off. Well, let's try the key now that it's actually in neutral. I couldn't get it into park. The exhaust was too hot. Nope. I hear something. Something's trying, but we'll try it now that it's in neutral. There you go. Oh, out of gas. Yeah, accelerator pump diaphragm's leaking. They all do. Little gas. Oh, it's leaking bad. Come on, baby, you can do it. I believe in you. A little choke, maybe? There you go. Whoa! I just got pelted in the face. All right, fast idle. Golly, okay. I can't get too close. It's in attack mode right now. Whoa, that was terrifying. What happened with the choke? It just decided to get stuck wide open all of a sudden. Let me see if I can adjust on it some. Where did you come from? Mate, there we go. Now it's open. Whoa, that was terrifying. I'm gonna bring the idle down just a smidge. One more time. There we go. Golly. I'm gonna bring the idle down just a little more. Not bad. Oh, okay. Sounds terrible. So the big thing is, I know this muffler over here, the exhaust pipe, is clamped shut on this side. I don't know about the other side, so we'll have to figure out what to do with it. But it's honestly running really well. That's way better than I'd anticipated. Dang! Look at you go, little Mustang. Proud of you. It's not that bad. It's really not smoking as much as you would expect it to for sitting as long as it has. A little oil, but the oil's probably really thin, so that's okay. Dude. Oh, she's about out of gas. Probably got a plug coming in and out. We've got new spark plugs for it. Transmission just is hopefully just low on fluid because it was trying to pull, it just couldn't. It's smoothed out though. Look at there. Oh, it's about out of gas. I think it's about to die. Yep. There it is. Sweet. Gosh, that thing runs good. That's way, way better than I anticipated. Good on you, Mustang. That's impressive. So I did do a little decoding, and it is in fact an original 289 two-barrel with an automatic, blue on blue, 1966. So that tells me the engine is probably original. I know the carburetor's not, but everything else is more than likely original. I think the color's original. It's been obviously repainted, but it was blue on blue, so I think they just repainted it the same color and then did some fancy interior work to it. So I bet back in the day it was probably a mean looking rig, but unfortunately it isn't so much of a mean rig anymore. I am real skeptical about these tires even potentially doing anything. They look like lawnmower tires as wide as they are. E6014s, woof. Where the heck's the valve stem? There it is. Get in there. That doesn't look good. Nope. The valve stems come, I think it's broken or it's come out of the tire. Nope, okay. Well, let's try another one. The front ones are more important anyway, right? We need those to move and at least be able to turn. Will those come out too? What's the deal with the valve stems, man? They've all come out. None of these are gonna hold air because all the valve stems are gone. Now, why are the valve stems out of the tire? Who thought that was a good idea? Good news is these valve stems on this side look okay, but this one is so close to being off of the bead of the tire. These are Silvertown something. Belted TAs, but they're BF Goodrich's, so these are vintage. Oh, no way. No way. How is that even possible? Oh, I'm gonna step away. Something is leaking. Let me shut that off. Where are we leaking at? I think somewhere on the back side we got a leak. Dang. I had high hopes for that one too. Oh, last tire on the worst section of the car too. I have, again, low hopes, but it's still worth a try. If I can get at least something here. So I don't have to change all the tires on it, but probably it's gonna have to happen. Ooh? I don't know. I think it's a lost cause. I hear air out of somewhere. Well, we tried. Well, the good news is these are 5 on 4.5, and I've got a few different 5 on 4.5s we could probably make work. Well, look who finally decided to show up and help.
Hey, I've been at school all day.
Yeah, he has to go to school. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna trade the wheels and tires off this 70 Mustang that I have sitting next to here for this car. These, unfortunately, are not gonna hold air. One big problem I see is that this lug nut back here on this wheel, well, it's broken. I don't know if it's gonna come off or not. So we're at least gonna try for 3 wheels, and if that works, we'll be okay. These are actually really nice. I don't know what they are, but they look cool. They're some kind of Krager, kind of a NASCAR wheel. That one right there is broken. We're gonna just see if it'll come off. Oh yeah, whoa, we're good. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Give me a little height there. I'm probably gonna hit the fender. That might be good enough. Oh boy. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Well, that's gonna be questionable at best.
Ain't gotta go far.
No, we don't. What are these? 225/60/15s? Yeah. We need a smaller tire. These lug nuts are not the correct style. I don't have any of the correct style. So we're just gonna use these to get it up to the shop and say, okay, good enough. Yeah. That's safe. Okay, let me let it down and see how bad it hits the fender. Oh, perfect! Oh man, that's terrible. Ooh. You got one wheel transferred over here. It's not looking great.
Wait, that tire's flat.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's flat. We'll air it up when we. It'll run out of air, so just put it on. This was the tire I had hope in. It's the best looking one. You know, oh, this one's stuck too. Oh God. Oh. Well, that one needed a roll. Might be a better idea to take it all apart and just see if we can figure out what's going on. This tire, it looked like it was brand new when they put it on. Well, obviously it was brand new when they put it on, and they must have just parked it right after that. So these are vintage, and they look brand spanking new. Wish I could find a date on it, but it's a little crumbly right now. This tire right here will hold air for a limited amount of time, but it'll be long enough to get us up there. This drum is locked up tight, so what I'll probably do is just get all of the tires swapped, and then we will worry about breaking it loose later. Oh, buddy. Get out of there. This one rolls, but we've got an oddball lug nut thing here. Let me see if I can get a socket that'll fit that. There we go. Yeah, just a oddball lug nut of some sorts. But it come off. Oh, some dinky brakes and air shocks too. We're gonna need it with these wheels. Look at these. These are lawnmower tires. That's what I was saying earlier. Look at them. Like just some turf tires. Isn't that wild looking? Bet that rode really comfortable. Look at that. That looks cool. What do you think it'll fit? You think, I mean, that's gotta rub at some point. But that looks so good. Look at that fitment. That's perfect. Yeah. I think with the flares, the tires look pretty good. You can see though we were losing pieces of paint the whole time. But it looks cool. That tire, again, it'll hold air. It's just low. But over here, you get to really see the effects of it. Which I think with the other side of the car, picked up a little higher, it'll help. But look at that. Is that not crazy? I mean, it looks pretty cool. I can't lie. It looks pretty cool. Well, with my newly found ground clearance, I was able to crawl up under the car and actually put it in park. So we're gonna crank it up again and check the fluid and see if it's low, because it's gotta be low with how it was trying to go into reverse and then go like it was a neutral. Isn't that crazy?
Butter.
Oh yeah. I checked it before I started it, and it had some on it. So I know there's in there, but it's just very, very empty. So that's why it was acting funny. So that makes me think, okay, maybe the transmission will be okay then if it's low. Well, listen to it. It's good. Black. When I touch the gas, watch the accelerator pump. Oh, did it quit leaking? That's weird. Interesting. Got a vacuum leak over here. I've never had a vacuum leak being plugged cause the idle to go up. That's weird. That's a new one for me. That'll work. Still low. Almost. You know what? That's good enough. Hello. Good morning. It's day 2. And what I have is this. So you remember our shifter situation? It's not so ideal. I actually bought this probably 7 or 8 years ago at a swap meet because I was going to use it on a different car that didn't have a shifter, and I never used it. So we've got a Mustang shifter here that I have literally had on the shelf waiting for the day that I would buy a Mustang that did not have one. By golly, today's that day. So I'm going to put this on here. This is a, gosh, I want to say it's later on, like it's a newer Mustang, probably like a Mustang 2 or something. But I think the concept still applies. We just got to figure out how to make it work, you know, bolt it in or zip tie it together for all I care, and just to get it enough to where we can drive it. Because as of right now, I can shift it, so I could technically crank it in gear, hop in the car, and then go up to the shop. I just don't have a way to stop it. I don't have a way to put it in neutral. I don't have a way to not crash unless I shut it off. So instead of having to deal with all that, let's take a moment, put this in there, and see if that helps anything. Surely being able to shift gears would help something. Well, how convenient. There's a square hole that looks like it's the same shape as this shifter. Let's see if we can do this right here. Alright, now we can lay it flush. Get in there. Oh yeah, look at that! Oh, no way! Perfect. Install done. That looks pretty legit. I just got to figure out how to mount it to the floor and then how to hook it up to the transmission. That's the hard part. Well, here's what we came up with. This is the shifter. It's in park currently, and I took a Chrysler kickdown linkage and bolted it in here, and then this is some throttle linkage off of my 58 Plymouth that I'm using to connect it into the transmission. The piece that I had was not long enough, so I just replaced it and then zip tied these two together so it doesn't fold up whenever you try to actually change gears. Will it work? It's questionable, but I think it's at least better than what we got, which is absolutely nothing. Well, I didn't feel real comfortable getting up under the car with the jack stands on dirt, so what I did was jack the car up and then put them on some spare steel wheels. So that'll give me a little bit extra ground clearance so that I can actually get up under the car, because the last thing you need is to have a 66 Mustang fall on you while you're trying to work on it. So let's just see, does this work? It's gotta go down in there like that. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Well, here's where I think we're at. The shifter is hooked up in here. It's kind of hard to see. It's way right there. So that's the shifter. And I think what this is hanging down, I'm pretty sure that's the neutral safety switch or harness or something. If I had to guess, because it goes right here, and this is where the shifter rides against. And I guess this is kind of like your detent cable, because it goes directly to the throttle cable. And that was unhooked. So what I'm guessing is they stole the shifter off this car and then just left everything hanging. And as you can see, it was leaking some fluid, so that's probably why the transmission had no fluid in it. So there's a lot of things that went wrong here, and I'm wondering if I tighten that down, will it cause it to quit leaking? I don't know. So when we get to the shop, we will try to fix that, but at least the shifter's hooked up, and we know why the ignition switch won't work, because the harness is not plugged in. Well, I figured why not just go ahead and put it back together. I hope I did that right. Well, I think, I hope, and I pray that this actually works. It's a little janky, but it's pretty solid. We've got 4 self-tapper screws in each corner, and that is holding it pretty steady. So right now it's in park. I'm gonna go down to reverse, then the neutral, drive, second, and then first, which on the 66, I think it's got those 2 drive gears. But anyway, it still works the same. So then we go back up to second, drive, neutral, reverse, and park. So there you go. It seems like it's working. Well, I got the gas jug sitting up on the fender. It's kind of dumb, but it'll get us to the shop. Other news, I found a plug wire that was off, but the spark plug itself, it's pretty rusty. So I don't know if that's going to be making any good contact. I may just go ahead and replace it because it's been off for so long. But hey, if it ran that great on 7 cylinders, imagine how it'll run on 8. Let's see if the ignition switch works. Oh, it does. Sweet. All right, that makes me feel so much better. Well, all the brakes are off. That was a pain to get all that off of there. I didn't break anything, thank goodness, but I did lose the spring and the clip that holds this side of the shoe on, so I ended up just taking all of it off. We're gonna save all of it because the shoes still look pretty good and put it back on the car. But for the time being, we'll put it all back together. This drum has got some nasty pitting to it. They'll probably need to be resurfaced before we can use them properly. But we'll put it right back the way it came off. Before we get too far, I gotta air this tire up. Let's hope that it actually holds. It's been flat for a few months. It's leaking at the bead pretty good. I don't think it's gonna go, folks. Yeah. I mean, it's holding a little air. It might work just enough to get us up there. What I'm gonna do is I'll get it running, and then I'll come over here, drop the car, hop in, and then we can actually get in it and put it in gear, because this thing is gonna give us problems. So as soon as I get it on the ground, we're gonna go straight to the shop. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving under our own power. This is awesome. I cannot believe this. Oh, tires are rubbing. Woo! I'm just surprised that the shifter worked after all that. I can't sit too high. And I really can't see because the hood's up. I can't shut it because if I do, I gotta stand up on the car. And I'm worried about emergency situations. Oh! Oh! Turn. Be honest with you folks, I didn't think this was gonna happen. I'm just as shocked as you are right now. Now we just gotta get her up on the lift. We're on the lift! Woo! I'm shocked. I am honestly shocked right now. Well, Briar's back, and we're actually going to try and make this thing run better for once. So he's changing spark plugs. While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pull the carburetor off and get it to where it's, you know, a little bit happier. Hopefully. You know, the big thing right now is just changing that accelerator pump diaphragm. That'll do a world of wonder to this poor old car. So are you going to take this one home when it's done?
I don't know about this one. Maybe if we did a roof delete.
A roof delete? Well, me and Dad were talking about it, and we got to thinking, like, if you cut the roof off of it, it's really just going to fold in on itself.
Oh, yeah.
There's no structural support to keep it alive. It's just going to fold up in half and collapse. Because I looked underneath the frame rail, the
Garbage.
welds to the floor. The rail's okay, but the floor's gone. That's the big problem.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not very happy right now. How do those spark plugs look? Ooh, yeah, well, yeah, not that great. I've seen better. I hope this gasket doesn't break, because I don't think I have another one. I guess we can just silicone it down, couldn't we?
JB weld.
Yeah, JB weld will work perfect. Whoever put this heater hose on here ran it to where the throttle linkage was hitting it, and now it's really in my way for this stupid wrench. Stupid wrench on a stupid car, with a stupid carburetor that wants to leak everywhere. Just be stupid. You do it one at a time.
Yeah.
What did we learn?
Don't do more than one at a time.
Why's that, Brian?
Because the little saber look bad. Made us look silly.
Made us looking real silly, didn't it? Ow! Ooh, I felt that.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yep, it didn't feel good.
Oh, what the crap? I'm already bleeding.
Oh, come on. Not on the car.
Oops. Hey, do you have any Band-Aids?
Let me go grab you one.
That was fast. This is the fastest I think I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah.
I didn't even hit it on nothing besides the fender.
Did you get a shot Band-Aid?
Oh, paper towel and tape.
Yeah, we'll just tie your finger back together. Yeah, paper towel. Here's your
Sweet.
little Band-Aid.
Oh. Maybe run some water over it.
Oh, no, is it that bad?
No, I just want to kind of clean.
You just lost a quart of blood right then?
Yeah, I didn't really go. Sorry if the video gets demonetized.
Is your finger still attached?
Yeah, most of it's there.
I mean, you got 9 others, right?
Yeah, got 10 for a reason.
Yeah. Don't mind me. Surprisingly, as crusty as it looks, it still runs halfway decent. Problem is that we could not touch the throttle or give it any kind of gas whatsoever because this accelerator pump diaphragm was leaking. Pretty common on these old carburetors. Ooh, leak a little gas in the trunk lid, it's fine. So I've actually got another diaphragm for it, and we're just gonna swap this out real quick and see, will it run any better? I'm looking around and I'm noticing that throttle blades weren't open too far, so it could have too much timing. We're gonna play around with it. I know we had 2 vacuum leaks total, so if we can fix both of those, we'll be in good shape. And now for the grand reveal. Ooh, yep, that's busted. Real busted. See if we can get it off in one piece. Yep, there we go. Yeah, there's some holes right here. When that's there, that's not gonna work. New diaphragm. Stole this out of another carburetor. Alrighty, there's all the screws tight. I'm gonna a little bit extra torque on those. Make sure that's to spec. There it is. One more and done. I might clean up this gasket surface just a little bit, see if I have an actual gasket for it. I am seeing that the throttle blades look okay. Are they a little overexposed? Just a smidge, which I turned it down probably. I did turn it down a full turn, so they were overexposed. So that helped a lot. So I'm gonna back it, I can see, yeah, it's still just slightly overexposed. We'll back it down just a little bit more, see if that helps anything. There we go. This carburetor, man, it's a beauty. You still working on spark plugs?
I'm about to take this heater hose off. I'm getting tired of it.
Briar's in the battle of his life right now for spark plugs, so, you know, surely it'll be worth it, right?
It better be.
What happens if it's not? Set this thing on fire? Do we keep it?
Chop the top.
I'm not opposed to it. Oh gosh, I can look through the firewall and see inside the car. There's a hole, or a bunch of holes actually. Now, should I actually try to time it properly with a light, or should I just do it by ear and hope that it runs right?
I got a TikTok the other day. It was like a video of Yoda. It's like me timing the engine by the sound of it.
And you know what's funny? Dad, of all people, sent that to me.
The same one?
Yeah, I'm like, you know how to do that? You know, it's in memes. I just got showered with something.
Yeah, the hood is struggling.
Well, so is the rest of the car. Okay, we've got all new spark plugs. Briar changed those. Got the carburetor back on. I'm gonna throw this over here. And we've verified the firing order. It is correct. I have loosened the distributor so that way we can at least try and adjust the timing. It should be on the right throttle adjustment for the carburetor. So I think we can play around with the idle speed with the timing. Vacuum is plugged. All things shouldn't be leaking. Let's try it. Holy smokes, it idles smooth. Wow. Oh boy. Maybe it's because it's cold. It's running out of fuel. Whew. I'm going inside the car. Whoa! I got trash in my eyeball. It's running out of guts. Wonder if I close the choke. Wow, it's smoky in here. Woo-hoo! I'm gonna close the choke just slightly and see if it'll get a little bit more fuel now that I'm like revving on it real hard. Is that dangerous?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's do the floor. Maybe it's got like a pedal limiter. It's like, no. Okay. Well, before we blow it up, well, I'm gonna let it run out of gas. Probably gonna have to rebuild the carburetor, unfortunately. It idles great though. Like honestly, it really does idle great. It's just, you know, it's not getting enough fuel when you're actually like romping on it, so, oh well. We're just gonna, oh, ow. I'll have to get a rebuild kit for it. But look how smooth it is though. I mean, that's pretty solid right there. Well, of course, the carburetor is back off. We're gonna try and rebuild this one because I could buy an original one, like a reproduction. I think this one's too cool to do that with. I wanna see if we can make this Holley 2-barrel work because it's just so cool and it's, you know, it kind of goes with the car and the whole story. So we're gonna try and rebuild this one. Bought this kit here. It's part number 37-1543. It's for a 2-barrel Holley. So we're gonna see if that'll kind of fix some things because what's happening is whenever you hold it wide open, it tries to shut off. So it's getting enough air, but not enough fuel. So maybe a jet's clogged, I don't know, maybe a power valve isn't working. Something is not really right with this thing to the point where it's worth it just to take it apart and see what's going on. Here's where we are. I mean, everything looks fairly okay. I've definitely seen worse carburetors, but the main thing that I'm noticing here was the gaskets for the float bowls and everything. This is not good. This one right here was broken. This one right here was broken for the metering valve. So these two were gonna help a lot. It was leaking fuel out of that. The power valve, the original one, looked okay. Wasn't bad, it still moves. We're gonna put a new one back in there with a new gasket just to be on the safe side. The diaphragm, this is the old diaphragm that you saw me replace earlier, so that's nothing of worry. So we have quite a lot of stuff here that we're gonna put back together. All new gaskets, O-rings and everything. The needle and seat is something that is really prevalent on these Holleys. I learned this one from Thunderhead 289. He showed us this one time. So you'll notice on the right, the O-ring does not stick out past the needle and seat, but on the left it does. That's where the big issue comes in because if it doesn't stick out past it, it'll actually let fuel pass it. So we gotta fix that. So we're gonna replace basically everything in this thing, clean it out as good as we can. We've got new gaskets for all this. So that should help a little bit at least. We had a very small leak that occurred. All I had to do was tighten up the bowl screws. So that should fix everything. We are going to see, will it run now and will it actually rev? I'm gonna hook up the fuel pump here. No more leaks. All right, let's fire it up. Let me grab my key here. While I was at it, I cleaned up the intake, like all the nasty leaves and stuff. So hopefully there's less fire possibility. I pumped the pedal 3 times. Oh. The choke is open too. Oh, let me hop in here and see if I can keep it running. The accelerator pump's working though, that's cool. I don't think it was working before. Come on now. Let me see if I can just close the choke, increase the fast idle, and then crank it again. Well, it don't like the choke closed, does it? We'll just crack it just a smidge. I might have flooded it, so let it clear out for a second. There we go. Let it warm up for a little while. Check for leaks real fast. All right, now it's coming together. had the vacuum advance hooked up, so that's probably why the timing was probably all over the place. It sounds pretty smooth. We'll see how she revs now. Oh, a little lazy. Yeah, too lazy. I mean, it revs better, but it's still... The timing probably is still just too lazy on it. Woo! Likes that. Golly. Before we get too crazy, too hot, let's just back off for a second. Well, I mean, if you ease into it, it'll rev, but if you, you know, just slam the throttle, it's not very happy to think, oh, she's a little hot. I ran a little too long. Let that kind of cool off. It's got some coolant in the engine, though, so that's good. So let me add some so we can run it a little longer. About a gallon right there that I've got in this bottle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the drain on the radiator's open. Oh, that's good. At least they had the foresight to drain it. This right here is the drain that was leaking, and it doesn't want to move. It's actually flexing the tank of the radiator, and I do not want to break that. So we're going to torch it. Uh-oh, there's grass in there. Oh, there we go. Nice. Sometimes it pays off just to take a moment to be calm, cool, and collective. Oh, wait a minute. The whole plug broke out. Ew. Okay, maybe sometimes it doesn't pay off. Well, we're having to get a little creative. Unfortunately, I pulled the plug out of this radiator here, and I'm gonna have to JB weld it back in. It does not want to work. So what I'm using is actually JB quick weld. Plug is covered in JB weld. Let me, oh no, I dropped it. Okay, we're not gonna drop it this time. Nice. Okay, perfect. We're just gonna let that dry, and then we can put our plug back in. I think we're good. The JB weld's holding up. I got the fitting back in there. So we're going to try and fill it up with coolant again and see if it leaks this time. Well, so far so good. So it's got at least a little coolant in it now. I don't feel so bad about running it. But I really want to just try and figure out the timing. That's our big issue right now. I think that might be the timing mark right there. We'll go with that. See, oh, no, there. What? Hold on. Where's the timing mark? So lazy. Still the same. Kind of wondering if that magneto might be the problem. Is it breaking down fire or something along those lines? Because, I mean, you can't hold it at a consistent RPM, which still could be a fuel delivery issue. Could be either one at this point. But timing, no matter where it's at, it's still breaking up fire at RPMs. Unhook the magneto there and add it in a regular coil. Let's see if that helps anything. That's better. And it still backfired a little bit. It could be just bad timing. All right, I'm gonna shut her off. She's getting hot. Let the geyser kind of chill out there for a second. I'm sorry, I know. Well, since that last clip, a few issues I think hopefully have been resolved. Number one, it just wouldn't rev happy. It would break up under fire, and I just didn't like how it was performing. So, pulled the distributor cap back off. Turns out I had opened the gap on the points way too wide, and so when I closed it back down, it had such a better spark. So that was step number one. Step number two is the timing marks on the balancer, you can't even find them. Like, they're non-existent. The balancer's so rusted over that the marks on there are just gone. Like, I can't even find it. So I basically had to time it by ear. But when I advanced it so far, it would idle too high, but then it would rev really snappy. So I knew it wanted that timing. So I guess what happened was at some point, I must have turned the idle screw up too far to the point where when it was advancing where it needed to be, it would not idle right. So it was just idling way too high. But once we got that RPM set where it needs to be, this little 289 is impressive to say the least. I honestly was like, wow, this thing is really snappy for what it is. We got it up on the lift here, and we're gonna see how bad the brakes look on the back side at least. We know they're junk on the front, so we'll start with the rears first. Such a dinky little brake drum, ain't it? Good luck. Not happening. Keep moving it. Look at there. Oh. It's not bad.
No, it's got a big old cut in it though.
Yeah, it's from these shoes, I guess. The shoes are cut the same way. But that looks pretty good. That's not nearly as bad as that front one was. It's actually kind of halfway decent. We can make that work for sure. So I'm doing this wheel cylinder here, and I noticed that there's a wrench attached to the bleeder still, probably from who knows when. Wonder if they rounded it off, got it stuck, something happened, and they just gave up. That is hilarious. There's no telling how long the thing's been there. Oh, come on now. Well, it doesn't want to let go. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That is wild. This car's had that bleeder opened for no telling how long. gonna see if it'll move now. All the brakes are done. Had Briar help me bleed them. If it'll stay running. It's got some kind of pedal. Reverse. Oh yeah. It's working. Forward. Yeah. It's working. Think it'll do a burnout?
I think it will.
I think it's too cold. I'm gonna drill the trunk out. See if we can find anything good in there. Ooh. Kind of come out in one piece, but you know what? That's totally fine. Let's see if he can open it now. Oh, ooh, that sounds really crunchy. Ooh, why does it sound like that? Golly! Oh, there's another keystone. Sweet. A 4-way lug wrench, a belt. Hey, look, there's a taillight lens, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Cool. What is that from? What does it say? I thought it was a Camaro. Toyota. What? It really just ain't. Besides a spare keystone. Not a whole lot in here. Well, we got a good 4-way lug wrench. We'll use that. There's a decent tire. It might hold air. Oh, there's a radiator cap. What is this? Another Ford solenoid. Can't use that. Belt deteriorated. This has something in it. Open that up, see what you can find in there.
What's a jack?
Oh! Why is it such
Oh, no!
Oh, man. All over the place. Why is it such a giant bag for? Ew.
It was a jack. Huh.
Oh, man, it fell apart, didn't it?
Something like that.
Briar's working on getting the fuel line disconnected from the sending unit so we can run a fuel jug to the factory fuel line. And right now it's fighting him. I mean, is it...
I've got it loose. I'm just cutting the excess off.
All these hoses and everything are so petrified that you can't just pull the hose off. You've got to peel it off crumb by crumb. It's just not happy at all. He's going to keep working on that. What I have up on the top side is what's going to be our solution for a fuel system. There's a hole in the floor that we ran a rubber hose through that's going to go up to a tank that's sitting in the trunk, ratchet strapped in. And this is going to go to our factory fuel line, and we're going to try the mechanical pump. I hope that it works. If not, I've got a backup. We're going to make an attempt to make it work. Once Briar gets that off, we'll connect this to it and then try and clean it out. Of course, I've already got fuzz on it. Try to keep our fuel clean, guys. Let's do our best. Briar is going to hook up our electric pump on the tank side, and we're going to see how it looks coming out. I'm going to get out of the way, though, because it's pointing right at me. I think something is stopped up, because I can hear it trying, but it ain't coming out. There's no fuel coming through the other side. Oh, we're getting something. Oh, it's starting to drip. It is disgusting. Wow, it's nasty. There's something just stuck up in there. It's coming through, but it is nowhere near enough to make this thing run. Well, we move the jug to the front of the fuel line. Now we're going to see if it'll come out this side. So go ahead, Briar, when you're ready. Oh, we're getting something out of it. It's flowing faster than the other side was. That's still not near enough. It's just bare. Like, what is the deal? Briar has rigged up our mechanical fuel pump because we're going to try and see if it works. So he unhooked the line from the supply side. We've got it run into this fuel jug right here that Briar is safely holding for us. Oh, yeah. And then he's going to see, when I spin it over, does fuel come out that side? If it does, that means our pump works.
Whoa! Yeah, it works.
Nice.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
That saves us a bunch of extra effort. Excuse me. Okay, we've got our new fancy fuel system rigged up. Got a ratchet strapped in. This is running to the mechanical pump, and then Briar added in a new fuel line going from the pump to the carburetor. So that should take care of that. Briar, go ahead and fire it up, see if it runs. Let it fill up a little bit. Look at there. No leaks. It smells like rat pee in here, doesn't it?
A little bit.
A little bit. We're taking a break from, you know, making this thing run better to do little cosmetic enhancements. And whenever I first got the car, I noticed that there's a bunch of cassette tapes in here. Uh-oh. Well, there's only 2 now. Whoops. So, whoever was in here was jamming out. This cassette player, the light comes on whenever you start the car. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if it works or not, but we've got 3 different cassettes and they don't say anything at all on them. So we'll just, I hate to do it, but like there's nothing on here.
Trash.
And then this old Mountain Dew can from whenever, it's not super old, but I think I can remember these when I was a kid. So somebody's been in here, but it hasn't been driven in a long time. Now the rest of this looks like pieces and parts to lug nuts that used to exist. No, that's an ignition switch there. Yeah, here's an extra ignition switch. There's 2. So we were having that problem, the same problem, and here's pieces of it because we were missing the key, so I took it apart. So there's pieces to that, but we don't need a key anymore. We've got our universal one working, so. Part of this time. And there's another part. So think about it this way. This thing has been sitting here long enough to where an animal got up in here, died, and then decomposed. What does that look like to you? Squirrel?
Possibly.
Possum? Maybe a small possum? Tell you what. The main goal here is to keep it from blowing up in our faces when we're driving. I couldn't care less about how it looks.
Oh, there's a bone.
Another one?
A jaw.
Nice. I'm just amazed that the headliner hasn't fallen down all the way. Especially since you can literally stick your hand through the roof. Well, this tire kind of airs down really quick. As you can hear, it's pretty bad. Anyway, we want to at least be able to drive it. These tires are too big. So Briar, demonstrate how much turning radius you can get. Keep on cutting it. You clear this direction on this side. See, it'll be fine. Go all the way to the right as far as you can. Or is it all? It might be hitting the other side. Okay, so that's not a lot, because what's happening is this. The tires are hitting the fender, but these fenders are absolutely junk. So we're just gonna go and cut them to where these tires fit, because this is all I have that'll fit this car. So cut it back the other way. Let's see how good it looks on this side. Oh no, phone down. So we clear pretty much all the way over here, but it rubs just slightly. Go back the other direction now, Briar. You can see it's barely not wanting to clear. Just barely. Don't worry, look at them. They're ruined. Like, there's no point in saving these fenders. They're sheets of Bondo here. It's bad. Like, look, they just bonded over all the holes. So don't feel bad about cutting these fenders up. Oh, there's miles of room now. This side is the worst side of the two. We're going to have to cut a good bit out on this side, I think. For some reason, the whole fender is like resting on the tire. We might try and pry it out too while we do this, because I think something on the suspension over here is sagging, and it's not really good, because this is actually a smaller tire and it's touching the wheel lip. Okay, keep going. Okay, that's good. Now that is professional right there. A little close. Do a lift real quick. Can we go up higher? Okay, it's clean enough. We're gonna leave these bones in here as remnants of the things that came out of this car. Briar's gonna try and drive it off. We don't have a fuel pump, we're still waiting on it to get here, but we're just gonna try and get it off the lift real quick. I am curious to see if this door will shut, because I think something broke. A lot of stuff just fell out. Hey, it works. That's good. Hey, come back forward a little bit. That'll do. Yeah. She's cold. She won't rev. Okay, Briar's gonna shut our hood down so we don't get any water in the engine, of course. It's a process. The hood is so weak, it's not strong enough to hold the hinges. Whoa! Okay, you got it good on that side. What in the heck happened?
I don't know, man.
There you go. You got it moving that time. Uh-oh, now it's latched. Now what? Guess we don't need to work on it anymore, right?
It's fine.
Hey now, don't be mad. My sweet baby would not stop crying unless I held her, so she gets to check out this pressure washer that we got from Northern Tool. They sent this to us because they have seen how many nasty vehicles we work on this channel, and that's why they sent us this Power Horse pressure washer. And by golly, this blue, it looks pretty good. And what we have here is a 3200 PSI, 2.6 gallon per minute pressure washer that is powered by a 212cc engine. This thing is literally the name. It's a power horse. This thing is strong, it's long lasting, and it's a fantastic unit. We've got 4 different nozzles up here. We have a chemical nozzle that has actually a little holding tank that you can put cleaners inside. It's all self-contained, and when you use that nozzle, it'll actually spray with the pressure washer. Pretty cool idea. It also comes with a 15-degree nozzle, a 25-degree nozzle, and a 40-degree nozzle for any application that you need, from delicate to pretty much blow the paint off of a car. It also comes with a 30-foot hose, so you can use it pretty much all around the property if you need to. Leave the pressure washer running and walk clear across the county if you need to. So let's fire this thing up and see how much better we can make this Mustang look. What do you think? You like pressure washers? I think she does. Look what I just noticed. Look at the gap. I don't know how, is it because the front of the car is gonna fall off, or?
We'll find out when we drive.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll worry about that later. Well, guess I can at least wipe the windshield off. I can't really see much better though. In fact, that actually just made it worse. Special delivery. We just got our new fuel pump. Briar's putting it on. Looks like it's just a stock replacement. I think that other one was kind of fancy of some sorts. I don't know. But it leaked, so it didn't really matter. So it's in the trash pile. Yeah, it's cold. It won't, when the choke's open like that, it'll have to warm up for a little bit. Is it not cutting off?
That was weird. Had to crank it the other way.
Oh, odd. Well, that'll be a future problem. We don't have to worry about that right now. Did it seem like it stopped okay?
Yeah.
That wasn't very convincing.
It'll stop, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, as long as it maybe stops. So the last thing to do, now that we've got a fuel pump, we've got it cleaned up, we've got our tires turning, we got to do an oil change. So now let's jack it back up, get that oil out of here, because I guarantee you it's probably just straight water at this point. I'm fixing a small fuel leak, and Briar is going to change the oil for us real fast. No. What if it was empty? The gauge works. Ew. Gross. Something has happened, and doesn't matter how much I tighten this line down, it just keeps leaking. I've even replaced it with another factory Ford line, and something's wrong with the pump. So we get to take this one off again and then start all the way over. Briar dropped his socket down into, or your ratchet thingy, whatever, into the bucket. The forbidden juice. What? No. This filter's so rusty you can't even read what's on it. I think it's a Fram, but it's been on here for a while. I wish I could find a year on it because this is insane. Oh, here we go. Yep, it's a Fram. The gasket stayed. Ew. Look at there, there's the shiniest thing on this engine to date. So we found that other taillight in the car, and once we actually cleaned it off and you could see it, it honestly looks cool. I kind of want to just stick the other one back in there. I don't know why it's out. I don't know if it locks in there or screws in or what, but it honestly looks cool. We found out that it is from some kind of Toyota. I couldn't find a year or what exactly it is, but it is off of a Toyota nonetheless. So if you guys know what it's off of or could find it, let me know down in the comments below, because I think that is probably one of the coolest parts about this car. The O'Reilly Special. We've got, hello, 530. I figured if it ran really good oil pressure, basically on water, 530 ought to be close enough to what we need. That's a very small port. Do you think I can do it?
Yeah.
Why did you pause, man? Now I feel not confident. Ah! Oh, there we go. Look at that slow pour. Oh, I gotta tilt further. The pressure. Ooh, the pressure.
Oh, you missed.
I missed a little bit. I couldn't see where I was pouring. Ah, it's fine. Look, there's my zinc additive. We did it. Well, I know there's gonna be some comments that say, why don't you restore this car? Well, let's just kind of go through and see. First off, that frame rail, it's gone, and that's not even the worst of it. That's actually probably the best rust. That one's gone too. Up here, this whole torque box is disintegrated. That's how it's supposed to look. So let's go back over here. It's all gone. And then up here, the floors are completely rotted out all the way through. You can see there's some rust everywhere. I mean, the only thing keeping us from exhaust is carpet. This is literally the floor. And right here, this is more just really bad rot. There's the front frame rail. There's the other side. This one's got rust right here. Floor pan rust, all through where the cross members are bolted to. All that's rotted out. The one thing that really scares me probably the most is this. You know how I talked about the fender having such a big gap? Well, look at this. This is the rocker right here. I'm pretty sure. I think it is. Or is it the fender? No, I think that's the rocker. So look at the gap here. See how big of a gap that is? Look at this side. This side doesn't have nearly as big of a gap because I think the frame rail has literally dropped. Like, it's drooping. You can see how it's split right here, and it's split really bad right here as well. I think that the car can't hold itself up and it's falling forward. So this car is cool, but it's just not worth fixing, unfortunately, to the level of like restoration wise. What I think would be cool would be to take all the good stuff out of this car, like the engine, transmission, rear end, brakes, and all that stuff, 5-lug swap, and put it into a really nice car with a 6-cylinder, like a really nice body, and just swap everything over. Because unfortunately, as cool as this thing is, it's just not worth doing all that to it, you know what I mean? So that's why we're not restoring it, but we will try to drive it. So we're waiting on our fuel pump to get here. Once that's in, we're gonna go for a trip. It just like to turn now, doesn't it? Briar's got us another fuel pump in. This is what, number 3? I guess 4 if you count the electric one too, right? Mm-hmm. That's not too bad, right? Fairly on 4. We're gonna hope that this thing actually works this time. And will it start and will it leak? I don't see anything. I think we're good. Briar, you did it. Yes. Champion of the world.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Well, that means we can drive it finally. Gosh, that thing runs good. Look at that. Look how steady it is. Man, give her just a little rev. Yeah. One more time out the back. Oh, she's ready. That's a race car right there if I ever seen one. It honestly runs really well. Brakes? Haha, brakes are very touchy. Golly. We got good oil pressure. Come right up to the middle. Oh yeah, the brakes are great, actually. I think I can adjust my mirror a little bit. I really can't see. Hey, the tires aren't rubbing. The tire on the front left is rubbing pretty good, so maybe it'll just kind of self-clearance and be fine. I can see gas pouring out of the jug right now every time we hit a bump. This thing rides like a log wagon. Brake check! They work?
That's pretty good.
Okay. Whoa! Wow. I don't think I can drive it. I can't drive it. It's like it's pulling the steering wheel out of my hand. This tire's rubbing so hard. We're gonna have to like stick a block or something up under the seat or something, or the side here. I don't know why it leans so hard. Brake check. We almost lost you, Briar.
My seat went.
When you let off the steering wheel, it about ripped me out of the road. It's dang. Well, we can see if it spin the tire on the gravel. That was weak. I might have to adjust the float with the mechanical pump versus that electric one, you think?
Possible.
Golly, this thing rides terrible. We got air shocks in the back. I didn't think they'd ride that. Yeah, look at the steering wheel. Like it just immediately pulls itself right back the other direction. We've got something weird going on with this thing. You see if it'll do a donut?
We'll try.
Just for the fun of it for now. I mean, surely it'll spin the tires in the grass. Oh yeah. It won't let me. It revs pretty good in neutral. Oh no. Why is it running funny? It didn't do that before, did it?
No.
I wonder if the float's too low. You gotta ease into it for some reason. Let me just try it. That's the sorriest donut I've ever done in my life. Well, we got a lot to fix, Briar. And now that side's rubbing great. Wow. Okay, yeah, we gotta fix some stuff. Whoa. The temp gauge is working though, seems like. I thought it was running better than this. Like, you could rev it and it would actually rev halfway decent, but now it doesn't want to. Yeah, it won't even rev anymore. You know what I didn't do? I didn't tighten down the distributor.
Oh.
So that could be a problem. Better. That's better. Don't try this at home. Oop, too far. Too far. Now that's how you do a real flare. I don't know what all this garbage was that was on it, but that's how you flare a fender. Makes you feel any better, they're full of Bondo. Look at that. All of it just chipping away. I know it hurts my heart too to do this, but I want to drive it. And if you're ever going to fix this car, it's going to need new fenders. So it doesn't hurt anything if they're already junk. Briar, what's your professional opinion now?
Looks beautiful.
Thanks for that boost of confidence. Now let's try it again. Briar approved, so that means we have to go down. I don't hear it. Oh, it scared me. I don't hear it rubbing. At least as bad as it was. I mean, it might when we hit a bump, but I jumped up on the fender to shut the hood and we checked. Didn't really see anything crazy. I mean, yeah, it's close, but it wasn't touching. Oh, sorry, there's a tree there. Got the timing where it should be because it was a little lazy, and now it actually revs. Now that's that one rubbing. Oh, we're rubbing it. Everything's rubbing. The rears are okay. I just don't want to pop a front because I kind of have to steer. Oh, God. Oh, dude. Still not very good, but. Whoa! 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 That's the alignment. It's not rubbing though. This does not feel good. Whatever is happening right now does not feel good. I think we're still in second. Is it rubbing still? Yeah. That side's rubbing now. Why did it jerk so hard to the left? Oh gosh, this does not feel good. feel like we're riding straight on the like on the frame. I got trash in my eye too. Wow. Uh-oh, didn't turn it on. Oh. Oh. Okay. We had 2 gears. I didn't hear 3, did you? Oh. I put it in second though. I'm gonna try drive now. I'm so scared right now. Could you imagine trying to drive this anywhere? Maybe if I relax a little. There we go. Look. Now I'm a natural. But the second you let off the steering wheel, immediately to the left lane. I think we're in high gear. Hey, the track's pretty straight though to stop. Watch. That's bad. That is bad, bad, bad. That's park. Reverse. Wait, that's reverse. Neutral. Drive. Well, that's neutral. Drive. I don't know if it's going all the way down to low. This thing is so sketchy. Do we need redemption?
We can try.
One more round. One more roundy round. Oh, there's some pieces that fell off the car last time. Huh. Hold on. It actually slid. We don't have suspension in the back at all, do we?
No.
He's riding straight on the frame. He keeps wanting to go in a second. Hold on, I gotta start slow. Cut it hard. To the floor. That's all she's got. Let me try the other direction. No. Ugh. I forgot the seat wasn't bolted in. If this thing could rev, like, if I put it in park now, it just doesn't want to do it under load, which we could have a float issue. Keep on hitting the brake! Oh God! Oh no! We need RPM. We need wheel speed. Come on. Oh, it's actually smoking. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh! It's hot. All right. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, bud. Do you remember if we checked the coolant in it before we left?
No.
Oops. The cat gave up. Sorry, Mustang. My bad. Hey man, chill, dude. It's fine. We don't have to be so mad. You think the coil's breaking up or something? It sounds like it's breaking fire. Well, it could be fuel too. I don't know. I was wondering if I tried it with the choke slightly shut, if that would help anything. Well, it's mad. We're just gonna let it sit here. All right, we'll be back later. I told Brian to crank it back up. We're gonna check the float level while it's running, if it runs again. Oh, she's hot. She's hot. Just hold it wide open and see if it'll crank. Probably not. All right, let's just wait. It is mad. Just look at the front end from this perspective right here. So you see the gap on the fender. See how it's taller on the top than it is the bottom? And then the trim is bent downwards. I think that the reason that this side rubs is maybe they picked it up with forks or something. Dad mentioned that because of the way the exhaust was shut tight. And it looks like maybe they just let it bow in the middle to the point where it just sagged. And I'm thinking that's what's wrong with our front end on the left side here, because that gap should not be like that. Not near like that. So I think this car, again, is just, if you picked it up like that, it's just going to fall apart. Well, we're back in the shop, and after that little escapade, I just let it cool off and it cranked right back up, thankfully, and drove back into the shop. I think our biggest problem, though, was under wide open, and that's the most important, obviously. And whenever we sat down and checked it, you saw in that clip, the float looked like it was way too low. So what I'm going to do is crank it back up and see if I can check the float while I'm at it. Briar put some more coolant in it, so hopefully it doesn't get hot again. So let's fire it up and see where we're at. It's running weird now, see? That's strange. I don't know if I heard it or what. That's the plug wires that fell off. I didn't think about that. Let's check our plug wires. That one's on, that one's on. Let it warm up real good first. I don't know, it might be all right. Look, where do you keep it pulling out? See how it revs now? No. Whatever. Oh, you weren't supposed to see that. It just sounds weak. Don't it sound weird?
It sounds goofy.
It's like it's running on negative cylinders again. Because for what it is, it's not bad. Well, it is terrible actually. But considering where it came from, it's better than I had anticipated. I was expecting just like awful, and this is only like semi-bad. Well, it's fully bad, but not awful. That's what it is. Semi-awful. There's the median. It's just struggling to stay running, you know. Now it's really mad. Downshift? No. Oh no! Oh, there's something. Something's coming alive. Oh! care, Briar. Do a panic stop right in front of it. I can't help but laugh at it because it's just so funny. You know it? It's just, oh God. So many people, why is everybody outside while I'm driving this thing? What do you think of my new ride? Kind of junky, ain't it? Did it burn out, Briar? I didn't think it would.
That was a pretty decent one.
We might need to leave before the neighbors file a complaint. They're standing outside looking at me funny now. Or not. Making little clouds over here, no big deal. Dixie loves it.
Look what you did.
It's hot. I did it again. Whoops. It doesn't like to slide, you know it? You can't get enough wheel speed. But it's still fun. Man, it's a dust bowl. Oh, man. Dude, I don't care what anybody says. I actually kind of like this thing. This is a lot of fun. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, it's kind of a blast. I actually have had a lot of fun working on this thing, even though it's a pile. So, I mean, what do you do with it, Briar? I mean, really, you can't fix it.
Beat on it.
Beat on. I mean, that's really all you can do. It spins tires. It kind of makes circles in the grass. Not really a donut, but it does make circles and ruts sometimes. So, it's good enough for me, you know? It's good enough for me. So, for being what it is, being that it sat in a junkyard, it was sitting at somebody's house probably for 40 plus years, the way that it rusted out like this thing still runs and drives and falls apart as you drive it, but that's great. That's really just weight reduction. So, all I can say is, we did it. That's all I can say. thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here and sticking through this one. This is a rough pile of junk, but it's our rough pile of junk, and I'm happy with it. So I guess for the future, what I would really like to see done is find a really good body and then take all the good stuff out of this thing and put it into a really nice car. That's all I really know to do with it, because at this point, this car is just really unsavable. Regardless, t-shirts, stickers, link in the description below. Do not forget to get that, because I mean, you want to make sure you can support getting other cars out of their weeds and actually driving them, because all the money that goes to that goes directly back into this. So, and it buys Dixie some dog food. Do you want Dixie to have dog food or not? I mean, really, let's be real. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.